So for today's video, we will be talking about what to expect working as a ward nurse in the NHS. So hi, eto na naman po ako. My name is Charwin and I'm a Pinoy nurse working here in the UK. As a ward nurse in the NHS, your day would usually start with the handover. Now your handover may take somewhere between 15 to 45 minutes, depende yan on who's doing the handover or who that person is handing over to, at saka syempre yung acuity ng mga pasyente mo. Okay, now in our ward we have 3 bays, and each bay we have 6 patients. Now with a fully staffed ward, in our ward we have 3 trained nurses, 1 charge nurse, and 3 healthcare assistants. Pagka medyo medyo short staff kami, minsan 2 healthcare assistants lang at saka 2 trained nurse. So what happens is the trained nurse and the healthcare assistant would partner together. So isang trained nurse yan, isang healthcare assistant, partner sila. They would handle 1.5 bays. So yung, let's say A, B, C, bay A, B, tsaka bay C. So if I was one of the trained nurses, I would do, let's just say, bay A and the first half of bay B. The other trained nurse would do the second half of bay B and the bay C. So yun. Ang kapartner mo as a trained nurse would be an HCA. Okay? Minsan, pagka fully staffed kayo, tig-isang nurse for each bay. Yung sa bay A, isang healthcare assistant, isang trained nurse. Bay B, isang trained nurse lang. Tapos yung bay C, isang healthcare assistant, tsaka isang trained nurse. Depende yan. So, right after handover, you as a nurse would start doing your morning medications. Now, while you're doing the morning medications, your healthcare assistant will be helping out with the personal care of the patients. So yung morning wash, yung changing ng beds, pagka mayroong kailangan ng commode, emptying of the catheter and whatnot, siya yung gumagawa nun while you're doing your morning rounds sa medications mo. Okay? Now, as a nurse, it's up to you to help out sa personal care. So pagka ikaw na nurse tapos ka na sa morning medications mo, you can help the healthcare assistant out and help in doing the personal care of each of your patient. Depende yan sa'yo. Okay? Now, in the morning, usually nangyari din yung doctor's rounds. So, andyan yung mga doctors nag-rounds na kasama yung charge nurse. So at some point, after the doctor's rounds, at some point, yung charge nurse mo ay update ka with any changes with your patients. Kung ni-review ng medical team, tapos papauwiin na yung pasyente mo, i-update ka niyan ng charge nurse mo. Sasabihin yan. Pagka may bagong mga request na gagawin, o mga bagong tests na gagawin sa pasyente mo, i-update ka niyan ng charge nurse mo. Kailangan niyang gawin yan. At any given time then, throughout your day, magkakaroon ka ng admissions and discharges. Alright? So we need to take these into consideration kasi nangyayari sila anytime throughout your day. Now, in a perfect world, around 11 a.m., tapos na kayo ng partner mo na healthcare assistant sa morning wash, sa personal care ng pasyente mo. Settled na sila, ready na sila for lunch. Pero before lunch, ginagawa muna namin yung observations, yung vital signs taking. Si healthcare assistant gumagawa niyan. Pwede ka rin tumulong, depende yan sa'yo as a nurse. Depende sa availability mo if you are available to do it pagka wala kang kailangan na gawin ng mga nursing procedures. Okay. Somewhere between yung morning medications mo at saka yung before yung lunch medications, kung meron kang opportunity to do documentations, do it. Okay? Pero mga 5 minutes na lull, kunin mo yung opportunity na yon para mag-document. Kasi medyo mahaba-haba yung documentation mo eh. What I mean is, medyo madaming forms na kailangang i-fill sa documentations mo as a nurse. Okay? Right after yung observations taking, syempre, pwede ka na mag-start sa lunch medications mo. Minsan, 15 minutes, minsan, it might take you an hour. Depende sa pasyente mo. There's a lot of variables that you need to consider. Now, after your lunch medications in our ward, meron konting calm before the storm. So, pagka-lunch, kumakain yung mga tao, wala masyadong problema, ginagawa mo yung medication administration mo. Right after medication administration, a lot of times yung mga pasyente namin, after lunch, nagpapahinga sila, natutulog sila, nagsisiesta yung mga yan. So wala masyadong mga call bells, wala masyadong mga requests, wala masyadong mga buzz, wala masyadong problema. So what I do is I take this time to do part of my documentations. So yung mga notes ko, medyo kino-complete ko na yan. But at this point, usually I'm about halfway done. Yung mga tipong half ng pasyente ko, tapos ko na yung mga notes, yung tipong mag-update na lang. Okay? And if, of course, if you have IV antibiotics, any other nursing procedures that you need to do, you need to take these into account as well. Somewhere between your lunch medications and your evening medications, ginagawa yung ibang mga nursing procedures at saka yung observations taking ulit, yung minsan bumibisita yung mga doctors, nagkakaroon kayo admission, discharges. By the way, yung mga time for medications dun sa trust namin, naka-time siya for 8 a.m. Minsan may mga 6 a.m. meds, pero minsan lang, madalang yung mga may ganun. 8 a.m., 1 p.m. at saka 6 p.m. Ito yung mga pagka nasa long day ka, ginagawa mo tong tatlong medication rounds na to. Okay? 8, 1 at saka 6. So tatlong medication rounds yung ginagawa mo. Siyempre meron tayong mga PRN medications, mga IV antibiotics, mga IV infusions. You need to take these into account as well, and they may happen anytime throughout your shift. So right after your evening medications muna, which usually start 5:30, 6 p.m. And it may take you somewhere, like I said, 15 to an hour. Okay, once you're done with that, you now need to finalize or close your documentations na before the handover happens, or during the handover pwede rin, pagka hindi naman ikaw yung nag-handover ng nurse. Marami tayong mga variables na kailangan consider and we need to expect when working as a ward nurse in the NHS. Like say for example, having a student nurse who's doing his or her placement. So ikaw, if you are the preceptor, ikaw yung bubuntutan ng student nurse na yan. So susunod siya sa'yo, he or she will be observing you doing nursing skills or helping you out with the medications. Siya yung medicate, tapos ikaw nag-observe sa kanya. Tinitingnan mo kung tama ba yung pinagkagawa niya. Kasi that student will be using your account na sa system. So kailangan, you really need to keep an eye on that person, on that student. Another thing you need to take into account is having a supernumerary staff. So ito yung mga hindi pa counted sa head count ng staffing kasi bago pa lang sila, nasa induction pa lang sila. Like the student, itong taong to is bubuntot-buntot rin sa'yo or to any member of the staff. Tutulong siya habang just to get used to the routine, just to get used to the things, the skills na kailangan niya matutunan. Okay? Pagka may mga ganito ka, may mga estudyante ka or supernumerary staff, there are some things that can become easier for you kasi you have extra pairs of hands na tumutulong, diba? Pero there are also some things na medyo magtatagal ka konti. Let's say for example, yung medication administration. Kasi hindi na ikaw yung gumagawa ng medication administration, nag-observe ka na, kailangan tama yung ituro mo sa taong yan. Di ba? So these are the things you need to consider. Medyo babagal ka ng konti kasi hindi pa siya sanay. Nag-aaral pa lang siya. So babagal ka. Tsaka tuturuan mo siya ng tama, di ba? What else do you need to expect when you're working as a ward nurse sa NHS? Yung turnover ng pasyente mas mabilis. So you may have an admission at saka mga discharge anytime throughout your shift. Ito yung mga kailangan mo expect. Pagka may mga admissions, syempre ginagawa natin yung mga necessary forms, documentations, tsaka tests. Like yung sa amin, ginagawa namin yung MRSA swab. Sinaswab mo yung pasyente mo, making sure na wala siyang MRSA. Yun, tapos sinisan yan sa lab and we make sure na hindi kailangan ng isolation yung pasyente na yan. Right? Tsaka yung mga discharges naman, ano ba yung mga kailangang i-consider pagka sa discharge. Pagka sa discharge, kailangan mong i-advise or instruct yung pasyente mo on when he or she would need to have the outpatient appointment, yung mga tipong ganun, yung mga medications niya, yung mga kailangan niyang gawin. Of course, you will be working with other healthcare staff as well. Yung mga physio, yung mga respiratory nurses, all that stuff you need to consider. You should also expect having a lot of healthcare professionals working throughout the day, visiting your patients throughout the day. Example ng mga to, yung mga physio mo, yung mga occupational health therapist mo, yung mga doctors mo, respiratory nurses, tissue viability nurses, yung plastics nurse, mental health nurse, any healthcare professional na involved sa care ng pasyente mo, expect na binibisita nila yung mga pasyente throughout the day. Yung chaplain, yun din. Huwag nating kalimutan yung chaplain. Kasi hindi lang ikaw na nurse yung involved sa care ng pasyente. Yun yung kailangan nating tandaan. Unlike sa Pilipinas kasi, lalo when you're working in a provincial or like a government hospital, sanay tayo na tayo lang yung and the doctor who's taking care of that person, of our patients. Dito hindi. Meron tayong maraming mga healthcare professionals pa. Ano pa ba yung mga kailangan natin i-expect working in the NHS as a ward nurse? Pagka tipong, ay wala kaming medication na stock dito. Ang maganda kasi sa hospital, meron ka pang ibang ward na pwedeng puntahan. Pahingi naman ng ganito, pwede pahingi naman ng ganyan. Lalo pagka out of hours na close na yung pharmacy for you to request. And anyways, kapag wala ka namang stock tapos nag-request ka sa pharmacy, hindi naman agad-agad yan na binibigay sa'yo. You can expect is that you have the option to go around the hospital looking for additional medications just to ensure that your patient is having all the necessary medications that he or she needs. Also, one of the things that you can expect when you're working as a ward nurse in the NHS is the support that you need to help the patient or to take care of the patient. Andun, any time of the day, andun yung support na kailangan mo. Pag kailangan mo ng doktor, tawag ka lang, bleep ka lang, darating na yan. Walang problema. Unless it's a badly run hospital, diba? Pero so far naman sa hospital na pinagtatrabuhan ko, okay naman yung support. Yung charge nurse ko, laging andyan yan. Laging akong tinatanong kung ano ba kailangan ko, ano ba kailangan ng pasyente ko. They're always there to support you. The education team, my senior nurse, my senior sister, laging andyan yan. So, yun yung mga things that you can expect when you're working as a ward nurse in the NHS. Also, another thing that you can expect when working as a ward nurse in the NHS is the variation ng shifts mo. Doon sa trust namin, we have short shifts, we have long shifts, we have night shifts. Yung short shifts namin, they can either be early or late. Yung early shift namin is at 7 or 7:15. Depende yan for each ward until 3 or 3:15. Yung late shift nag-start sa 12:15 until 8 p.m. or 8:15. Yung long shift, of course, 7:15 to 8:15. For me, what's on my contract as a full-time band 5 nurse sa trust namin is 37.5. So, I may choose to do like 3 long days. Minsan naman, binibigyan ko ng long day, tapos a few short days. Minsan naman, 2 night shift at saka 1 short shift. Yung mga tipong ganun. You also need to consider yung special needs of your patients sa ward. Let's say, for example, sa isang orthopedic ward, meron kang pasyente na may dementia. Tapos, meron siyang, ang ginawa sa kanya is total knee replacement. Tapos, syempre, may dementia yan, hindi niya alam yung nangyayari sa mundo, right? Nag-try yan na tumayo, tapos biglang na-fall. Syempre, we don't want that to happen, right? So, what we need to do is to request for a person to look after that patient. So, ang nangyayari sa ward namin, meron kami minsan isang HCA na nakaupo lang sa tabi ng pasyente na yan. Siya, takatingin lang. Pantay, sarado yung pasyente na yan minsan. So, nadadagdagan kami ng staff member just to look after that patient. Diba? So, yun usually are the things that you can expect when you are working as a nurse in a ward in the NHS. So that's all we have for today. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe and check out my other videos as well. Once again, this has been Charwin, Pinoy Nurse in the UK.